Good job.
Hand over fist.
Writes into beyond at ign.com just like you can. It says beyond.
Beyond.
Greg Colin and spins the wheel. Click, 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 click. Blank slate. That's Brian Altano.
Yeah.
I have a topic for you guys. So PlayStation Plus is fantastic. Loads of great deals and content. But here's the issue. When I see trailers/announcements for awesome indies like Child of Light, Strider, or Valiant Heart, two of those, not really indies, Ubisoft games.
Yeah, Ubisoft. They got you, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I want to get them right away. I bought Strider and I love it, then found out it's free on PlayStation Plus the next month. A little disheartening seeing as how I spent $15 on a game and now it's free. Another I bought was NBA 2K14, now it's free on PlayStation 3. Valiant Hearts came out and I really almost did not buy it because I thought it would show up on PlayStation Plus soon. What is a good time for PlayStation to wait to push something for free? One hand, it adds amazing value. On the other, it takes away the push to buy a new product because it just might be free next month.
I don't think there is any time. I mean, sometimes you see brand new games are free, and actually, Xbox has been doing a lot better with games for gold, whatever it's called, where like actually the new Guacamelee that comes out is free right off the bat, which PlayStation has been doing for a while. So they're learning over there too. I think it changes. I mean, let's look at the games right now, right?
Okay.
Towerfall essentially came out earlier this year.
Yeah, and it was really well received. See, I mean, you go with it. I don't know where you're taking this.
I was going to say it probably underperformed. So you have to understand, we don't know the exact rules, but the developers are handed lump sums for this as well. So this works out for them too, and there might be negotiations going both ways.
Sure.
Vessel is a PS3 digital game that probably no one played. Dead Space 3
That's been a while.
might be building up hype for a new Dead Space announcement soon. Yeah. Muramasa Rebirth, I know, did way better than I think a lot of people thought it was going to do.
Good. That game was great.
Yeah, and that's a Vita game. Strider was awesome, I thought, on PlayStation 4. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was too easy. But other than that, it was a lot of fun little Metroidvania game. Doki Doki Universe, I'm sure, didn't do well.
Right.
So it behooves these developers to get involved in this program, and I think that there is no time. So, like, what you see here is a variety of games that have come out at different times. Actually, these games are pretty front-loaded. I think the oldest game here is Dead Space 3, and then Muramasa, which is over a year old, and then everything else is less than a year old.
Right.
See, I think he's got a fascinating point. I go through this mentally myself all the time with PlayStation Plus, where I do see a game like Strider, right? And I did buy Strider and I played it because I grew up on the NES, so the Strider is amazing. But I could see how someone would look at a game like that and be like, this is one of those kind of like slightly more quiet, kind of middle tier games. Like this is exactly the type of stuff that becomes free 2 or 3 months later.
Yeah.
So you either drop $15 on a 5-hour game or 10-hour game right then, or you wait a few months. So like it's a chicken and egg thing, right? Like sales on these things could be doing better if we didn't constantly have that shadow of the doubt in our head or joy that it could be coming to PlayStation.
I bet
Plus
the differential there in terms of percentage of people who are like, I'm not going to do it is super low. I think if there was no PlayStation Plus, games like Strider would come out, right? You'd hear some people mixed reviews. I don't like it. It's if you like the NES version, blah blah blah, and you'd pass on it and never think about it again. You know what I mean? That's what I think PlayStation Plus is great at, right? These games come out. Towerfall, right? They came out and we loved it. We loved it for like those first 2 weeks and talked about it and played it in the office and had a great time. And then we stopped talking about it, and kind of a lot of people stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
And it fades away and gets lost on now. All these E3 announcements are above it. All these other games have come out, and it's like pushing it down in your mind, your subconscious, right? And then something like this comes around. It's almost like the paddles, right? It's like jump starting you back to life for a little bit of like, boom, now people are talking about it again, playing it, and then when it does go away, there's still that hope that people are like, oh, I see it on the store, at a discounted price now, and I'm going to pick it up. And there'll be a sale for it down the road, right? Like one of those like summer sales they do and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think that makes perfect sense. I actually with this, it was that happened with me with Towerfall because I was like, this is correct me if I'm wrong, it's a local multiplayer only game, right?
Yeah,
you can play
single player.
There's a single player,
but it's supposed to.
It's predominantly multiplayer game and it's local only, and I'm like, okay, well that's just like whoever happens to be at my apartment, which is like at most it's like me and my fiance and sometimes Greg's dog, and I haven't trained him yet to play Towerfall. I'm working on it. But that's like a perfect for that to be free. A few months ago, I was like, I totally want to buy this, but I don't know how much I'm going to play it.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden, it's here. So I mean, that's cool. There.
I think you got hung up on not buying it because it didn't fit your curriculum at the time for a game you want right then.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like for me, that was the thing with. I didn't buy a similar argument here that is again like a small percentage of gamers. I think is like Child of Light came out. And I watched a review, and everybody's talking about how great it was, and it's awesome. And I was so busy that I'm like, this is going to be a Vita game at some point. Like, you could just see how it looked, you know what I mean? And I still feel that way about Valiant Hearts, too, but I jumped in on Valiant Hearts because I couldn't wait, you know what I mean? Like, I want to play that. I think there's enough immediacy out of people that they see games like that, they buy them and want them. So, like, I understand where Eric's coming from, being on the fence here, but I think people who are like that are that super hardcore, you know, really into PlayStation, watching everything.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of other people who would see Valiant Hearts and like, that's a cool game, and forget to buy it that week and never buy it again.
Yeah.
So if it does come up as PlayStation Plus eventually.
I think that no matter what, this is it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll also say just real quick that I think Sony is actually going above and beyond.
Beyond!
With letting people know a month early what some of these games are going to be. Because if I was them, I wouldn't say anything until the games are free.
Yeah.
Because you're actually destroying the sales of those games. Like if you're clued into like PlayStation blog or whatever, which is a big website, you know Doki Doki Universe is going to be free at some point in July. So like you don't buy it. You know?
Yeah.
And so I don't like. I think that's actually kind of cool of them because they weren't doing that for a long time.
I imagine they did the math on it, though, right? Because like a Doki Doki Universe, how many people were out there getting ready to buy it?
At least 10 people are going to buy it this month.
Sure.
Before.
Yeah, I think what that does too is it probably it creates new signups. Like people look at that and they go, "All right, well, I haven't signed up for PlayStation
Good
Plus
point.
yet,
Yeah.
but this is gonna be the month that gets
That's actually a really good point. Yeah,
that is
because
a
you
good point.
figure you're like, all right, cool. In 15 days, I'm downloading Towerfall, but I might as well pick it up now and then get the games that are free.
Because
now.
people do buy those in like 1 or 3 months, like bursts.
Yeah, you can do
right?
1, 3, 6 in
It's
a
one,
year?
6 in a
I think
year
it's
or
1,
something.
3 in a year. I don't
1,
know
3 in a year.
There's no 6.
Okay.
I tell you what, I pitched a complete game last night, and man, the shoulders killing me.
Yeah.